Welcome back, Phillies and Genitals, to a Brony Plays Minecraft. Here we are, back on the farm. It's not really a farm, but it looks like a farm. Back on Skyblock! And we're looking for crystals. You'll see we've got the earthen, tainted, and vaporous, as well as some aqueous crystals, but we're missing fire and vis crystals in order for our thermometer. Not thermometer, thermometer. So, we're going to start by wandering over this way. You may have noticed there's no sound there. That's because it was really noisy and I canceled out. And here we've sped up. Why? Because it's mining. What are we looking for down here? Well, first of all, it's looking to see how far down this is. So we are looking for those crystals, like I mentioned. Those fire and vis crystals. Fire and vis. Fire and vis. However, such crystals are hard to find. So yeah. However, on the way down, we see there's a earthen one there, some cinnabar. And so we just start strip mining away, shall we? Now, as I'm doing this, I'm going through the standard... Oh, some sapphire, don't want that. I'm just going to go by a standard 2 by 1, 2 high, 1 across, as you can see, and every 2 or every 3 blocks I'm digging out. I'm not going too deep here because the idea is we want to try and cover as much as we can. Also, I want to make sure I get the best use out of my torches, because at this point in the game, I had forgotten that I had an extra stack of coal with me. Now, I picked up that ruby there because my policy is to pick up one thing if we find it and it's new and we don't have it yet. So rubies, for example, don't have those back on Skyblock, so we'll pick up one of them. I'm not going to pick up any more, just the one. There we go, an aqueous crystal, and I had to check. You'll see me checking there because it looks a lot like vis. Now, obviously, it's not a fire crystal, but that one's red. So, out of torches, decide to head on back for the time being, and try a different approach. Try a slightly different approach. If we really want to find crystals, a good way to do it is to look in through caves. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go look through caves. But to do that, we're going to have to eat an apple first. Nom 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 nom. Indeed. To do that, we're going to need to find some books. And I'm also going to get rid of this cobblestone. And I need a new pick, because that's what we're going to need. We're going to need some picks. So, you see me here, I'm working with some of this iron, trying to get some extra stuff, extra iron for the picks, putting away some extra stuff, and I decided to do things a little bit more intelligently at some point. We're going to grab these 2 ages, this 1 age plus the linking book. Always have a linking book. I'm not going to emphasize that enough. And I mean that because no matter how much I say it, it will never be enough. Always bring your linking book, because you never know whether your age is going to be crap or not. I mean, a lot of the ages are not stable. In fact, most of them are. You generally have to write your own stable ages. And I'm not very good at that. Nonetheless, that is what we're going to try doing, depending on whether this age works out. In fact, that's part of the reason we made a squid pool. But more on that in a little bit. You'll see me here checking the furnaces. I'm looking for some charcoal. And this is the point where I realized that I had some in my inventory the whole time. So, yeah. Torches, yeah. They're the best kind of torch. The Ez kind. The kind that are plural. You also see that I took the taint meter off my hotbar, and yet the taint meter is still there. That's good, because that means you don't need it on your hotbar. I was wrong when I said that last time. Did I say that last time? I think I said that last time. Anyways, let's go travel to age 56. Oh, I'm a little off there. Darn. I forgot that the frame was all like weird and funky. You can see here the incredible lag caused by spawning in an entire new world and also trying to, exist in physics and stuff in that new world. Good luck with this one. Let's go take a look at what it actually is. Notice single biome ocean. It's got some extra stuff, but single biome ocean means that it's gonna pretty much be worthless to us. So we could go around and just start guessing at ages. After all, if we can get a cave world, and those are pretty common, then it shouldn't be too hard to find one that has crystals in it. So I thought to myself, we shall get some sugarcane. Yes, some sugarcane. Yes, and we shall use the sugarcane to build ourselves some boots. We shall also look for more material. There we go, the sugarcane. Yes, yes, the sugarcane. And we shall use it to get some boots. Yes, well, yes, 3 of them. Yes, thank you. And so we'll use the sugarcane to get some books. It'll be quite fancy, indeed. And except that, as you might guess, this is going to be a slow process. Now, why did I want a book? So that I can target more books and not have to make them through sugarcane, because that's silly. So remember, a book by itself is a linking book. So make 3 of those. They don't stack. And a book with a feather, that's shapeless, is a age book or a descriptive book. And also, you might notice that they're Thaumcraftable, meaning that they have smelting and research values now, which is pretty nifty. Pretty nifty, except that I was looking at this recently and found out there's a very good reason why I have not seen an update to the latest version of Thaumcraft and stuff. And that's because, I'm sure some of you already knew this, but that's because that the current incarnation of Tekkit that I'm using doesn't appear to exist anymore. It's only Tekkit Lite, Volts, and Hack/Mine, I think are the ones that I saw on the launcher page. Anyways, I don't know if I'll update. I probably won't. I'll probably let the series run to 26 episodes, 1 season, and then I will conclude and move on to something else. So if I want to play the new Thaumcraft, which I might, and also Xenos Reliquary, so I might build like a Feed the Beast pack. I might work with that. But that'll be something that I do in the future. First, I'm going to finish this off. And I don't think there's really much to do. It's not like I'm going to show you guys anything new in Thaumcraft. I've pretty much just said, hey, look, I can survive. And the survival aspect was really taken care of a long time ago. Isn't this a nice world? Let's get some indigo. It's a cute little world, but it's not what we were looking for. It probably does have what we're looking for in it, but I didn't want to spend any time finding it. So I decided at this point, you know what? Random selection of ages is not going to get us wherever we need to go. Let's toss the indigo in there. And let's think about something else. And that something else is the squid pool that I mentioned. There's no squid in here. And for good reason. I was looking it up on the Minecraft wiki. So it turns out, and I'm going to get some materials, I'll get some supplies, and then we're going to start speeding up. It turns out that squid don't spawn at the level I was at. Squid only spawn below level 62. In other words, sea level. And the thing is, I figured we were pretty close to sea level, and I think we are. You can see it for yourself on the mini-map, but we're not super close to sea level. And it turns out that even though I built the pool low, I didn't build it low enough, so there's not going to be any squid spawning. Great. Well, this basically means that we've got to, well, expand the squid pool. So the first thing we need to do is we need to find a way to build down. I came over here to see if there's any way I could build down from this section. You see me, it looks like I'm moving at normal speed because I'm holding shift, but there's no actual way to build down from here. So I came over to the other side to look on the other side real quick, thought about maybe just breaking through some of the mossy stone and building that way, but then I said, you know what, there's a better way to do this. Let's come back to Derpy Falls. So here at Derpy Falls, everyone, we decided to come down about that many. That many blocks, which should put us just in the range of squid spawning. Building back out, which is a careful endeavor on itself, and of course I'm making lots of mistakes, so I'm holding shift and trying to move things around. Building back out leads us to be about 4 blocks or so down from the 63 mark. This should be at the bottom levels here should be available for squid spawning. We've just got to somehow find a way to actually spawn squid here. Now, what I'm going to try and do is first just build the cage so that we've got the right size. We'll do that by estimating where the corners are, by looking up and seeing where the corners are. Yes, indeed. So that I don't want to change the size of the pool or the hot springs at all. Just looking at regular stuff. No biggie. Then we're going to start building some walls. And at this point I had to go get a few more stone, because as you can see I'm running out. and I've actually made a slight mistake. Can you spot it? But in order to get back up, aha, I had to break the floor. But that's perfectly fine. We're going to change the floor anyways. So I came back up to get some materials. And I've turned the cobblestone generator on from the auto forge so that you can see lots of materials. And I started getting some stone, and I'm like, oh, you know what would be even better? Yeah, got some stone brick. That's right. So we've got some stone brick here. We're going to plug that up so that it doesn't mess us up. And I start building the walls out of stone brick. And I had this idea, you'll see it in a little bit here, because it's going to get pretty dark in here. And this is where I noticed that I messed up, but no biggie, because I needed to take out some of the blocks anyways, so that they could all be nice stone brick walls. Now I left one of the columns of stone in, because you're not going to see it from the inside. Now I don't know why you're on the inside, swimming with squid, but maybe you are. And around here, I had an idea about the design. I said, well, you know, because I was building and I kind of didn't want to fill everything in. I said, what if I just left that there? And you see me thinking about that, and I'm like, oh, that's a clever idea. So we have a little window, maybe. Yeah, that might be nice. So we have a little window. We've got our cage. We have our floor. And the water isn't going to flow out now. So I started breaking the floor. And pretty terrible at breaking the floor. But hey, you know, you do the best you can, right? Break as much floor as we can while we're down here. And then we swim up. Oh, it's hard to swim up. We swim up and we start breaking the rest of the floor, make sure it's nice and even. And there we go. We have a basic squid pool. But I want to make sure that we actually have squid spawning down there. So we're going to need to put some buckets in. And I'm looking for buckets at the moment. I'm also looking for some stairs because I thought to myself, you know what? I want an easy way to get in there, in and out. So I decided to put some stair blocks down. And this is a real pain in the butt because every time I put some stairs down, it was like, oh no, it's all like running out of air parts. And I like having air parts. So now I had to go put some bricks there. I had to put some more stairs. But now I can walk up and down fairly well. It's much faster than swimming up and down. The problem of breathing is still an issue. Breathing is still an issue. There is, of course, ways to fix that. Not hard at all. So let's go ahead and throw these things away. Get lots of EMC back. Careful not to throw any like books away or anything. And I came around to see if we had any ladders. I also needed to see if we had any buckets. Actually, buckets is what I'm looking for first. So I picked out some buckets from an infinite water source. This is no longer infinite because it has blocks below it and it won't refill itself. I started filling in from the bottom there. A little bit of breadth. And then I said, oh, hey, that should be infinite. I was a little off, wasn't I? But that's okay. Using this, I've filled in the diagonal method, which is to say that if you've got two squares of water, ooh, that was a close one. If there are two squares of water diagonally next to each other, or in other words, there's a square next to another square, and they're both still, then the third square in between, the diagonal square, becomes a water block. This is how infinite water sources work, because no matter where you take them, there are two blocks next to it. Now this bug? It's probably intentional at this point. It only works if there's a one layer of water. So that's why I no longer have the infinite source up top now. So I put some stuff along the bottom. If you diagonally place buckets down, you'll fill up an area pretty quickly. And I decided to start putting ladders down because the ladders will hold the water back. Now it's not a perfect system. You'll see me fighting with the ladders a fair bit here. First of all, my little design feature left parts exposed, which is a bit annoying. Also, I'm missing a block here and there. And when you're trying to go up and down the stairs, if you hit the ladders, sometimes that can mess your up and downiness. Uppy downiness. Uppy downiness? Timey wimeiness? Something like that. So I got some glass, and I said, oh, yeah, I'll just glass it all in. Not thinking at first that, oh, wait, is glass ladders, this might not. Oh, no, it doesn't work. Oh, no, it doesn't work. Oh, sad face. So I ran back up to get some stone bricks. And we'll put some stone bricks in there, and we'll just have to have that wall not be glass. Oh, well. And, of course, I did not get enough stone bricks. I needed, like, 2 or 3. And I clicked for 2, and now I have 2, but then I have 3, and so now I have an extra 1. And that was frustrating. So we block that up, and now we can put the ladders down. There we go. So we put the ladders down, make sure that we're nice and dry when we walk down, and just make sure that we have we never have to worry about breathing. I thought about glassing in the rest, but you know what? It doesn't really matter. And also, it would just make things difficult for the squid to move up and down, just in case they have trouble with that, because for some reason water flows faster past glass. Maybe because the glass is very thin or something. Not really sure. So anyways, just come down, put up the rest of the fences. I've got one fence left over, so I said I will come down and put it down here. Alright, so now we have one layer of water that is ready to go for squid. So we'll let that sit there, nice and ready for squid. And let's look at the next thing to do, the next to-do thing on our list. We're still working on, we're still working on these, whatchamacallums, on these ages. But in order to really get these ages going properly, proper Mystcraft style, as we've seen before, we need a writing desk, and a writing desk is not a thing we have at the moment. No squid. Oh well. So I made a couple of extra link book stands, just in case I wanted to travel somewhere. But there is something else that we could do before we do anything. I'm not sure what I was talking about or gesturing to there. We got ourselves a pick, sure. I'm going to get... I don't actually need the cocoa beans, no. I was looking for some more books. Some more books, yes. Trying to make sure I remembered the recipe for the link book stand. I came across that Thaumonomicon and a couple other things. The Thaumonomicon is incredibly interesting. It's something I might look into in the future. But I'll need a Quasitome, which means I'll need that whatchamacallit. And it was after searching through the books for a little bit, then feeling kind of silly that I remembered, oh right, it's made with a feather. Silly me. There's the Quasitome, which we're still working on. It takes an ink sac and a feather. And there's the writing desk, which also takes an ink sac and a feather. Stupid squids. So yeah, we're waiting on squids. Squiddy, squiddy, squiddies. Luckily, that's not the only thing that we could do. No, it's not. But let's see if there's any squid spawned. No. No squid spawned. And there's just no lack. There's no lack of movement. There's a complete lack of movement. Nothing in there. So let's take out these cobblestone and let's start preparing for our last thing to do. And our last thing was the thing that we've been working on for the past couple episodes: getting a collector. A collector. What does a collector do? It's the thing from Equivalent Exchange, well, from the old Equivalent Exchange, EE2, that would just absorb energy out of the air and be all like, oh, here you go. And people would use it because you can combine it with antimatter relays and a condenser for power flowers, which basically create stuff out of nothing. And I don't want to get into any of that. I didn't want to use a condenser or anything, but I don't have a problem with using a collector. The collector seems like it takes longer, and it seems a little less cheaty, even though it does create stuff out of nothing. But there's a process you have to go through if you want to turn that fuel stuff into matter. Nonetheless, here we go. Sacrificing all of our silver for 9 diamonds. And what do we do with these 9 diamonds? We make a block of diamonds. Not a pants of diamonds, a block. Not a chest. There's no diamond chest. There is, but it's not like that. There's a block of diamond. We'll teach it to the table. And now, let's double check that we're doing the right thing. Now we need glowstone for our energy collector. We also need a furnace and some glass, but whatever. Those aren't a big deal. We need some glowstone. Now, glowstone's going to be tricky because we don't have any glowstone. The best we have is glowstone dust. So we're going to need to transmute other types of fuel into glowstone. Won't that be difficult? Well, it means that we're going to have to go through these trees here and collect some wood, turn all this extra EMC here into wood, and start converting that into charcoal. In other words, it's a long, slow process. Luckily, I'm not going to sit here for all of it. Some of it, yes, but not all of it. So we're going to put these in here, and I'm going to let these sit. We're going to skip ahead to when they finish. And that way we don't have to watch all of it, because no one wants to see all of it. Put the block of diamond in there, put the apple in. Now take some covalence dust out, and we start getting, the covalence dust. We'll start turning fuel into glowstone. Now glowstone shouldn't be super expensive, a glowstone block. Let's find out how much it takes with this charcoal. Just toss it in there. We'll get glowstone dust. We got 5 of that. That's perfect because we need 4, and we find out that 1 glowstone was about 1,500. About 1,500, give or take a little bit. So that gives us an idea of how much we're going to need. That little bit of dust back in there, and now we gotta wait for smelting. Let's put a couple things away. Just a little bit of organization. Yes, organization. Ah, they take so long. Smelters. Any squid yet? Any squid yet? It's been all of like 2 minutes. No squid. Just to make sure, I jumped in the water. I just jumped straight in. None of this stairs and ladders business. Nope, just jumped straight into the water. That's the way it works. All right, we're back. We have our charcoal, that is. We have our charcoal. We're going to throw it in there. Uranium ore is apparently a fuel. I did not realize that. That's a little odd. But no matter. Glowstone, 3, 4. So close. It's okay, we have some extra. 5 on those. We need some more. 6. There we go. Used up all of our charcoal, but that's okay. We can always make more very easily. So there's our 6 glowstone. We get the rest out as redstone because that's always useful. We need a little bit of glass. So there's some glass, and now we need a furnace. Almost forgot to make the furnace, you'll see there, but let's go ahead and make the furnace with some cobblestone. I checked to see if I had an extra furnace. That's what that was. So that was a thing. I'm silly, I know. So there we go. We have a furnace. Yes, there's our furnace. Furnace, diamond block, and the glass, and the glowstone, our energy collector. Ah! Our most expensive item. Oh yeah, look at that. 82,000 versus 73,000 for the diamonds. That's where it's at, yo. Energy collectors. I'm trying to find a good place to put it. I decided that over here by the other magical things is probably a decent spot. So knock this little block out here. Put our collector there. And we can start collecting. Yes. In fact, it's already collecting. It's not super bright here, but it's bright enough to give it energy. So we put the redstone in, and then we wait a bit, and the redstone will change into something else. We put the redstone in, and then we wait a bit for that arrow to fill all the way. Oh, when the arrow fills, it will turn into something new. In this case, coal. Now we have some coal, and we'll just wait. I'll put a little torch right here. This torch might speed it up. Watch that. Check it for yourself to see. I'm pretty sure it does, so I put the torch back, but if you disagree, then tell me down in the comment sections. That's where things need to be. So until next time, keep on trotting.